Hey yo, I think I'm live. Refresh. Am I live? There we go. Now I can see the chat. See if anybody jumps in. I might just start, cause then whoever watches the replay can just you can figure it out on your own. I think I'll just start off answering questions right away. A couple questions got sent in, so I am going to talk about those. I wish I could see my own numbers, but fuck it. All right. So the first, hold on. I'm pulling up live. I don't know what that was. See if anybody's jumping in real quick. Give it a couple minutes. Why does it say one waiting? I don't know what that means. Anyway, I think I'm gonna just start doing a recorded show instead of live. I think that would be easier. Cause they're not gonna go over topics too. Like plan out topics. That's really what I need to do. It's like plan out topics. But I'm gonna start off answering a couple questions that I got and then probably just rant for nothing and then call it good. So the first question I got was somebody had asked. I'm pulling them up. Joseph. This question's from Joseph. He said, "I'm 13. I'm wondering, what do you think the best way is to become athletic so I can jump high, run fast, and beat my opponents easily?" First off, I sent out 2 emails about this. So if you're in my email list, Jacob, you should have got both emails detailing exactly what I think you should do. I already said what I think you should do. And I'll reiterate it, but it's why you're asking this question if I already sent it out. So that's the first thing. But I'll give you some answers. So for workouts, it's exactly what I put. Matter of fact, I'll pull up exactly what I said because I sent out exactly what I think you should do to become more athletic, like the best workouts that I think exist. So I'm gonna put those out, or I did put those out, but I'm gonna pull them up again so you can see. Yeah, right here. What body workout should you do? So the first one I said is ATG, like knees over toes, guys. I do those ones now. It's making my knee feel a lot better, so I can actually run up and down the court without getting hurt. So I've been doing those, but look that up. GOATA exercises, GOATA, which they like gatekeep all the info for some reason. You don't understand what they're talking about when you go get on their page and watch any of their videos. But if you can get a hold of some of their workouts, do those. Matter of fact, I found a video on Vimeo. I'm gonna find that again and I'm gonna put that in the email. It's gonna be on the email list on Monday. Jump attack, obviously, only do that if you're in high school. So this does not apply to you, Jacob. And then I think that was his name. I want to butcher your name. I forgot it. Calisthenics. I always think calisthenics because when I see people doing calisthenics, they're always stronger than people that lift weights. Like they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna bench press 315, and then the dude that only does calisthenics beats them all. So calisthenics, and then stretching. Obviously, you could just look up the most basic stretches of all time. I put movement by David. He has some good stretches. Foot yoga. Let's look up some random foot yoga videos. I think those are really good. And then rest and sleep. So that's what I think you should do to become more athletic. And also, one thing I didn't put in there, I'll throw in something extra, is play multiple sports. I think that's the thing that made me really good at basketball is because I played football and I also played volleyball and I also played hockey and I also played baseball and I also played tag and I played everything like capture the flag. I played anything that you could think of. I played it when I was a kid. So that made me coordinated and it made it easier when I tried to play basketball because I was used to a ton of different movements. So I never felt like my body was out of control or I had any awkward movements. I was never clumsy. I always had body control. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another thing you can do. Just play multiple sports. Like go outside. Like I played soccer. I played lacrosse at in PE in middle school. I'm trying to think what else I played. Like we played rugby at recess. Played all types of shit. So play a lot of sports. That's gonna be your best bet. All right, I'm gonna answer the other question. I have two more that got sent in, and then if y'all in the chat, you can say what's up. I got the chat pulled up on my right, so then I can see questions if y'all want me to talk about a specific topic. The next question was from a parent, which I do gotta start making content for parents. I'm not as organized on the side of, info for parents and info for coaches. So that's something I'm gonna clean up moving forward. He said, my son is 10. How many reps should be getting up at this age per day or week? What type of shots? He said he feels like he's going to change his form anyway, so he doesn't see the point of getting thousands of shots. What do you recommend changing shooting form and lift point for kids to an adult shot? This is a really good question, because I think a lot of parents get this wrong, and it's like my question. And if you do ask anything in the chat, I'll see it. So don't spam. Once I get done with these questions, I'll see it, and then I'll be able to, get to you guys' questions. But I think for parents, bro, for one, no kids should be shooting threes until they're at least 13 or 14. That's just my opinion. That's what I see. You're good. I had to throw that out there because people spam sometimes. I don't think any parent should be making their kids shoot threes unless they're 14. That's just my opinion, right? And I had a new student join my academy, and I was talking to her mom, and she said the same thing. Like she kind of agreed after I brought that up, and she was like, "Yeah, I agree." And so I'm like, I'm glad, some parents understand that. But I don't think, your kids should be shooting threes at a young age. I think it's just a waste of time. As far as how many reps and shots, I'm not counting anything. I think that's the thing. Like I'm not counting anything. I'm not worried about reps or, grinding or any of that shit until they're like 14. I'm not worried about none of that. Once you turn 14 and you have some, I can see like, okay, you're going to take it seriously and you have a want to be good, then we can start training. But before that, I think the whole focus has to be based around fun, based around going to as many camps as possible. That's another thing that this kid's mom said. I said that I'm a fan of going to camps instead of trainers, like especially at a young age. I don't see the point of trainers when you're 10 years old. It makes no fucking sense. I think you should have as many coaches as possible, be around as many different players as possible, play a bunch of different types of competitions. And when it comes to camps, you're kind of mixed in a little bit. So you might be with a bunch of 6th and 7th and 8th graders, all combined in one setting. I think that's really good for players. And then you learn a lot because there's like 8 coaches at the camp. You might work with 1 or 2 coaches one day, then a different coach another day. And you're learning from so many different people, and then you get to play against so many different types of people. I think that's just the best thing you can do when you're young is just find every single basketball camp that you can possibly go to and go to it. Don't worry about training. Don't worry about AU. Don't worry about none of that shit. Because then by the time you get to 14 years old, you'll have a solid foundation of like fundamentals, a solid foundation of competition and knowing what coaches expect because you've heard it from 20, 40, 50 different coaches. I think that's just super important. So that would be my focus. Like don't be worried about numbers, don't try to count reps, no 500 shots a day, none of that shit. Have fun, go to camps, play outside, join the local team. There's not even local teams anymore, to be honest with you. There's still Y League, but it's like people are getting phased out of Y League, to be honest with you. I think the parents like it because it's less travel, which I'm a big fan of. I don't think anybody should be traveling unless you think it's beneficial, unless you need the exposure. You know what I'm saying? Because you could go, there's 3 or 4 cities around you within an hour away for most kids that they can go find decent competition. You don't need to go from Florida to Texas to play basketball at 11 years old. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't I'm not a big fan of travel basketball. I'm not a big fan of, one practice a week basketball. And I said that this summer. I'm like, I'm going against my own philosophy by doing this. I don't like this. Like, I don't like we're going to fucking Arkansas and then half our team's not at practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like it. So I'm phasing myself out of that shit. I want to be in a place to where we practice 3 times a week, at least in the summer, and then we got 2 tournaments a month. Like, I'm good with that. Like, we don't need to go to 9 tournaments this summer. We just don't. I promise we don't. I think the only reason you should travel is if you're ready and if you're dominant in your area, and if you feel like you're prepared to be seen and to be scouted and to be um, exposed to the nation, which is not most of you, but that's just my opinion. And as far as changing your shot at a young age to it, I would just say stay close to the rim, shoot on a shorter hoop. Like, if I have a kid, my plan is to lower the rim to like 7 feet, and that's how we're going to learn how to shoot. And we're going to be close, and his form's going to be up by his forehead. And, that's how it's going to be. I'm not going to be shooting from far away. It ain't going to matter. We're probably barely going to be playing games. Like, we'll play YMCA and stuff like that, or local. But I just have a whole different, philosophy on development. I think this is my last part on development, and then I'll move on. I think at a young age, all about camps, all about getting your form decent. And it's easy to change your form when you're like 12, 13. So make their form decent. If they're playing basketball 10 years old, just give them a decent form. But I'm not going to drill it out because I don't want it to be harder when we need to higher the shot point. And so, your form's going to be decent, 10, 11, 12. Once you're like 13, it's like, okay, let's grind this form out. Then when you turn 14, we're going to add the range. And then once you going into the summer before your freshman year, your shot's going to be money. It's going to be on point. And then, you can move on from there. Because at a young age, you can create a jump shot like that, bro. Like, it's nothing. I learned how to shoot in like 6 months when I was young. So, in less than that, matter of fact, I learned how to shoot in like, trying to think what it was. I mean, I learned fast, so I might be different. But I learned how to shoot in like 2 weeks, bro. So when I was in 6th grade. So easy as fuck. But that's my philosophy for that age. And then after that, then get seriously competitive, play up. Like, once you turn 15 or once you're going into high school, you're only playing 17U. Like, we're not, because in middle school, you're going to be playing, when you're in 6th grade, we're playing 8th grade. And then when you're in 8th grade, we're going to play probably 9th. And then once you're entering your 9th, we'll play 17U. That's my philosophy. So I see it work. I think playing up is the most important part once you start to get up there. The next question I got was, somebody said I got cut from the team. What should I do? I think you got to figure out why you got cut. The reason I think, I've never been cut from the team, and I think my perspective on the kids that did get cut that I saw, when I was in high school, I'm like, okay, this guy got cut, he got cut, whatever it was. The reason is because they're not serious basketball players. They don't go to camps. They don't train. They don't practice anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't work on their skills. Even and this is why I stress the basketball camps part. I think the reason I made the team every year entering high school, and I wasn't even like a fringe player. It was like, okay, I'm obviously gonna make the team. I think the 2 reasons I made the team was because, one, I learned how to practice by going to basketball camps. And I went to so many basketball camps, bro. Y'all don't understand. So I think that, and then I played against older people when I was in middle school. So a lot of people don't know this. When I was in 6th grade, 6th and 7th and 8th grade, the person I played one-on-one against the most was 4 years older than me. So if every day I'm facing this dude who's lifting weights and who's already been playing basketball and doing all these things, what do you think's gonna happen when I go play another 6th grade? It's like, you're nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just your mindset when you go and face those type of people. And so that's really, those are the 2 things that helped me, was just playing older people and going to a lot of basketball camps and learning how to practice. After that, You got to be competitive and you got to really fight. Like people aren't as competitive as I think they are. They're just not. You know what I'm saying? And I think being competitive is like the baseline for making the team, on top of just knowing how to play basketball. And so I think those are the things that are important. Make sure my mic's on. Yeah, I'm good. Those are the things that are important, if you want to make the team, and then just realize that you're probably not working hard enough. If you get cut, I guarantee you're not working hard enough. It's not that hard to make a high school basketball team. You just probably have not been taught how to play basketball or how to practice. You know what I'm saying? Or you haven't played anybody. And so, I think that's just the formula of like self-evaluate and ask the coaches. Like if you get cut, ask the coaches. Be like, yo, why did I get cut? Like, what could I do? How should I train? All these other things, and hopefully you can get an answer from that. And be serious about basketball. Most people that get cut are not serious about basketball. They're just jumping on tryouts the last second, and they're full of shit. So I think that's what you do, and then just move forward. So good luck. Yeah. And also show up to everything in the off season. Can't stress that enough. If that first time they're seeing you is at tryouts, your chances of making the team are slim to none, unless you're just clearly better than everybody within those 2 days of tryouts. That's just what it is. So I've been in the meetings. I know what it looks like. They already picking the teams 3 months, 2 months in advance. So, be involved in shit. Okay, let me answer this in the chat. You said, I'm in high school right now with a really bad coach and a bad team. The coach showed up 30 minutes late to practice. We lost 18 games. Damn. He had us pay for jerseys, which he isn't supposed to do. Doesn't do drills that translate to the game. Do you think it's better if I just wait to play AAU and work on my game until then? Because in practices, I'm not getting better at all. And the competition is very good. I get better. I'm just playing LA finish rounds. From Texas, but isn't something aiming for. Yeah, I think in that situation, it's not worth playing for a bad coach. It's not worth it, bro. If it's that bad of a situation, like that's your high school. Yeah, the drills don't translate. Do you think? Yeah, honestly, it's such a tough situation. I think high school basketball within itself is overrated. You could play for like multiple AAU teams. You just transferred there. Yeah, bro. If it's that bad, fuck it. Don't even make the team. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you're willing to completely ignore everything he says and do things your own way until it's like, okay, he's gonna kick you off the team. But then that might create a bad reputation if a coach trying to recruit you and he calls your high school and it's like, hey, how would this kid like? Yeah, so I wouldn't probably do that. I'm just trying to think of what you could get out of it. So yeah, I think that's tough, man. I wouldn't play. I would just do straight. Yeah, I was already on and then I left. Nah, fuck that, bro. Leave, bro. Leave, bro. I've had to tell a bunch of kids to leave shitty situations. It's not worth it. Leave and completely ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can get any evidence that he's a bad coach, just because if you're getting recruited and somebody wants to call him and ask what happened or whatever, it's your word versus his. And so hopefully you can back yourself up. But don't play. That's my advice: is do not play for a shitty coach in a shitty program. You're losing by 50. Like, he's doing weird shit. Get gone, bro. I'd report it to the A. It's crazy. Matter of fact, I would do one better. I would take this shit to the AD and try to get him out of there. So then you can play and have a season worth playing. And but it's tough because schools don't. I just talked about this yesterday with a couple of students. Like, schools aren't looking for a basketball coach. What they do is they take a pool of teachers, and they're like, the first thing they do is they say, who wants to coach basketball? Of people that already teach at the school. And then there's volunteers, and then I don't know the process after that. If they get a couple yeses, like they probably just go through an interview process of like experience and all these other things, and then just choose. But most of these varsity coaches, bro, at high school, they get like an extra $5,000 or 7,000 or whatever it is on top of their teaching salary. Um, yeah, like they get like a stipend or whatever, and they don't even care. Like they'll switch, they'll go from coaching football to coaching basketball to coaching soccer. They don't give a fuck, bro. They're just out there doing whatever. And I witnessed it firsthand. Of like, I know it's like, damn, y'all are really playing for a coach who don't know jack shit about basketball. It's crazy to me. And then they just pick these people because they made the team once in high school. It's like, bro, let's be for real. And that's why some of these high schools suck. And then think you're spending the most time with those coaches. So the most time spent in basketball is with the coach 5 days a week for 4 months. 6 days a week because y'all got Saturday shoot around or Saturday practice. You got something on a Saturday. So 6 days a week for 4 straight months. You're playing for a coach who don't know shit about basketball. The game is fucked up, bro. And it's sad for me to actually see the reality of it. Of like, damn, it's real, and you're lucky. You like, if you got a good coach, you don't understand how lucky you are to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's strictly luck. And it sucks because it makes a lot of these kids quit, and there's a lot of kids that had potential quit. Kids that I know that could have played college basketball quit. And it's like, damn, like you could have got an athletic scholarship, been doing something productive, playing on a higher level, and then you played for such a shit coach that you don't like basketball no more. Like it's, and I have like a two-sided thing with this because it's in one side I get it, like I understand people that quit because of a bad coach, but on another side, there's not a coach in the world that can make me quit basketball. There's no one that has that type of control over my life. Like I'm hard-headed, and that's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I like when people say coach made me lose love for the game, like I can't fathom that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me personally because I was obsessed with basketball. Obsessed with it, like, and I think also this is another piece of advice I gave. I think the reason that happens to people is because they only play in that spot. So I knew for a fact, like, regardless of what the coach thought or what coach did, whatever, I wasn't getting minutes or I'd play on a lower team or whatever, I would go to the Y and play. I would go to the rec, you know what I'm saying, or play, and then I'd play somewhere in the summer, and I would still have fun with the game outside of just team practice. And I had so much hope for the future of like, I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all do. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care how y'all treat me. Eventually this is over and I'm still gonna make it. Like that was just in my heart. And so, I think some people, you either gotta find that gear of like hope for what you gotta have a real goal and then have hope for it, or or you fold. I think that's why I had real passion and a real goal to go after, and I think that's what helped me fight through all the bullshit to make it to there was no time left. You know what I'm saying? So I get it when people want to quit, but I think just find a situation that works and don't play for jack shit coaches. And I'm gonna read the rest of what you said right here. Yeah, and I would say if y'all did go, if y'all did go to the AD, I would go as a team. To be real, I would try to get the team together and be like, we're not playing if this dude's coaching, so y'all will not have a varsity basketball season, or he's gone. That's what I would do. I'd try to get the group together and stand as one and do something. That's me now, knowing what I know now at like 31 years old. But it's hard to do when you're 16, 17. Like you're not just thinking about that. But that's just what I would do, knowing what I know now if I was back in that situation. You know what I'm saying? It's always, and I always think about the people that are like, man, if I knew back then what I know now, I would do so much different. Like I'm telling you what I would do. And so think about it as a serious option. Um, what's up, Don? Um, yeah, most teams aren't looking for walk-ons because there's the transfer portal. Walk-ons are it's over for walk-ons. Walk-ons will no longer be a thing. It is over. But I think you got to make a decision, bro. We talk about this all the time. You know what I'm gonna say. You got to make a decision. I don't want to hear might. I don't want to hear maybes. I want to hear a plan. You know what I'm saying? A plan of like for me, I got a plan. Like right now, my body's been fucked up, and I stopped. Last year was the first year where I was like not pursuing basketball. Or no, this year was the first year I was not pursuing basketball seriously. Because every year, like I'll just have like my body was fucked up, and then 2 years COVID wiped off time. Like I couldn't do shit, and so this was the first year I was like not pursuing basketball. But I got like 1 year left of like, okay, I can make something happen. So I got a plan. Like I'm getting healthy, doing my ATG workouts. Like up at, a matter of fact, I'm finna go tonight and do my workouts. Um, get my knee healthy, get my shot ready, start playing. Get back in the groove of training. Um, next year find competitive runs and leagues if I can or whatever I can do to play. Get a bunch of college guys together and play, and then take my ass to Spain. Like that's my plan, And so that's this from me to you is like have a plan, bro. If you don't have a plan, you're not gonna take action. But you gotta have a realistic like I can do this plan. Like for me, I think I could do that. I think I can get healthy. That's what I'm working on. Okay, I can get my skills back. I can fix my shot. I know how to do that. Like I know I can go find competitive run or something if I got to do that, and then get back in the scene and guard real players. So then when I get over there, I'm ready and prepared mentally, and my reaction is where it needs to be, and then fucking go, save up the bread and go. That's my plan. So I'm telling you, bro, sit and write, like get paper and write a plan. You know what I'm saying? Write a plan and stick to that shit. That don't mean you can't change your mind when things start to happen. But have a concrete I'm gonna do this plan. I think that's the best thing for you. And you might as well, you got eligibility, go to a JUCO. I think JUCO. This is the thing for people that have not played college, bro. Because I know people like this in person too. You gotta be willing to start at the bottom. I'm gonna answer your question real quick. You gotta be really willing to start at the bottom. People are, I think for one, people are afraid, and this might not be you, right? But I think people are afraid to look bad. And then, it's crazy. That's one of the topics I wrote down. I think people are afraid to look bad and be embarrassed. Like for me, if I get back in the hoop scene, right, I gotta go face real hoopers. I haven't hooped against real hoopers in a minute. Like I haven't, my body hasn't been at that place. My mind hasn't. I haven't give a fuck about doing that. So when I get out there on that court, like there's a chance I'm gonna get exposed and look crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's are you willing to go through that and face that matchup of somebody that's been playing college for the last 4 years or whatever it is, and they're in the groove and they're in the rhythm, they got momentum, and they've been training, and you got to go face them. Like, are you ready to go face them and see what you're made of, like for real against that person? That's the thing that people are afraid of, I believe. Of when the moment is there, are they afraid to be embarrassed? I'm not afraid to be embarrassed. I think if I had the fear of doing something, it would be the fear of being unprepared. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to ever go into a situation feeling like I'm unprepared of like, damn, I wasn't ready because I haven't been working on my game or I'm not in shape or anything like that. So like that's why I'm taking my body seriously first of like, let me get my body right to make sure I don't get hurt and I'm in shape and I can keep up. And then I'm gonna go face that challenge of like I gotta go to Omaha, which is there's way better runs in Omaha than Lincoln. I gotta go to Omaha and find where the best runs are and try to get in there and try to get some minutes and play people, and see where I'm at and see if I can compete and, fight through that grind. It's like the video game when you play Mortal Kombat and they got that ladder. You're gonna have to face that first dude and he got some shit ready for you. And then the next one, he got some shit ready for you. And some next one and the next one and the next one. And you gotta be willing to fight. It's like eventually Kyrie and Steph got to face each other. D Rose had to play Rondo, had to play Chris Paul. Like these dudes got to face each other at some point. There's no running, there's no ducking. That's what it is, bro. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people are afraid of is they be ducking. to say it honestly, like they're ducking. They're afraid of that matchup, you know. And I think you can't be afraid of that matchup, no matter who it is, and you got to be willing to die, like figuratively, you know, like. And I think that's the thing that I always have with why I know, and I think that's what makes you good. Is like the best warrior is willing to die. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's what they do. So it's like, you know, LeBron had to face KD in the finals. This is how Tim Duncan had to face Shaq. Like, you got to face the best of the best, and, you know, hopefully the best one wins. Hopefully you win. So I think that's just what it is. You can't duck. You got to go. You got to get ready, and you got to find that smoke as soon as possible. Don't wait. Don't say next year. Don't say in 2 years. Don't say nothing. Now, let's get after it now. Let's find that shit now. Let's get it. You know? I think walk-ons for D2 is over too. Yeah, I think walking on for D2 is over too. I think walking on for, because the transfer portal is alive in all divisions. That's what I think it is. And so why would, there's more supply than there is demand. You know what I'm saying? The only reason people will take a walk on is if there's not enough supply of players. And so the supply literally doubled. If half of college basketball enters the transfer portal, then every team just doubled their supply of in the recruiting pool. And the transfer, every player in the transfer portal is better than 80% of high schoolers. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's not that many high schoolers that are better than college basketball players today. So not only is it harder to walk on, or walk on's pretty much dead. Like, that's just my belief. I think a walk on is dead. I could be wrong, but I think not only that, but it's harder to get a scholarship now, because when 4 spots open up at Kentucky, they can hit the portal, and they can hit JUCO. So it's like, when you're coming out of high school, are you better than the players in JUCO that they're scouting? Are you better than the players in the transfer portal that are coming from mid majors or low major schools? In their eyes, no. Like, in reality, like, you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a coach right now, why on earth would I look at high school basketball at all? Why? Unless you're one of the bottom teams. Like, the only reason you would look at a high school basketball is if you got connections to a high school program that always produces good players, and it's like you can try to grab some of those, or, you know, you find some gems in the rough that are like 2-star, 3 stars, no one's looking at them, and then they turn into something, or you can get a top 100. You're a blue chip. You know, like, that's just what exists when it comes to high school. So you got to either be the best of the best, or you got to have a connection that's going to be like, yo, I got this kid for you, like, come check him out. Or you got to right place, right time, pure luck. That's how I see it. And then, you know, if you're not one of those 3, they're going to be looking at JUCOs. They're going to be looking in the transfer portal. Even people from big schools are transferring to other big schools. Like Hunter Salas went from Gonzaga to Wake Forest. For what reason? I don't fucking know. I would never in my life do that. Gonzaga is like a top tier program. And then you're going to Wake Forest where no one's going to see you play. But they're getting paid in college now. So it's a whole different world. I think it's all a wild card at this point, bros. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you're in high school or you have no experience in college, the thing you have to be willing to do is start at the lowest possible point of entry. You know what I'm saying? Like, being at as long as it's a coach, you know, if you go to a bad school that they don't win that much, but the coach is good, you know, then that's a decent situation, as long as you can get the minutes and produce to be seen, you know. But a lot of these kids, they're going to go to mid majors, and it's just going to be a springboard for them. Like, they're like mid majors is basically the new JUCO, and JUCO is the new high school, or JUCO is the new prep school, and then prep school is the new high school. So what the fuck is high school? It's like nothing at this point. Like it's nothing at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm seeing it from a logical standpoint. You know, so I think that's just it's rough, man. You got to be willing to start anywhere and then and beat the people in front of you. I think that's what it is. Like every matchup you face, you got to be ready and you got to show I'm better than this person. Then you move on to the next matchup. That's just how it works, you know. Um, Say you're tight with the coach. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like get on where you can. Like get that experience. I think it's all about experience. Experience trumps everything in real life. You know, everything sounds good, but whoever has the most experience usually finds himself in a better situation. Uh, do I think prep school would be better than JUCO? No, I don't understand the prep school hype. Yeah, I don't understand the prep school hype at all. I don't get it. I don't even understand what it's like. As that's just another. It's like reclassing. I think it's just another year to duck smoke. That's just that's my personal opinion. It's a fly in here. Um, that's my personal opinion. I think it's just you're just delaying the smoke. Just that's how I see it. I can't see it any other way. You know what I'm saying? But nah, yeah, go to prep school. I don't understand the point. I would just you might as well go to JUCO unless you're not getting any offers. Um, and I think to get an offer, you got to get exposure. This is a thing that drives me nuts. Is like I be telling kids, post your clips, bro. Post your clips. I find kids all over that have no stars or anything, and it's like put them fucking clips out there. But they can't be. You got to learn how to edit to make it look good so people can watch. It's not like like you can't just throw a clip up there and be like, okay, so hopefully someone sees it. Like you got to make it look good. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it like a meme. Like you know how you see people um they'll post a clip of them doing something good, but they'll put like some caption on it or some shit or some headline and like they get a lot of views off of it. You got to figure out how to market. It's marketing. Everything comes down to marketing. You would not be watching this live if I was not good at marketing. You would have no idea what I know. I could be the best basketball coach in the world, but if no one knows it, what the fuck does it matter? I can't do nothing with that skill if nobody knows I have that skill. It's like when people say, "Oh, just be good enough and they'll find you." That shit is not real. Do not believe that. That's the lie I got sold. They sold me that dream of being good enough and they'll find you. No one knew I could shoot. No one knew I was 6'2". No one knew I could play basketball. Like no one knew nothing. You know, I was good enough, but no one found me. There's no find you, bro. It's about marketing yourself. It's that simple, bro. It really is that simple. And so put yourself out there. Build a page strictly for basketball. You know, have your contact info ready. Have your game clips ready. Have your highlights ready. Have your full films ready. And so when anyone goes to your page, they should be able to find everything you got. You know, I think a lot of players are like people are so old school, bro. Y'all acting like small businesses. Like small businesses, they literally still buy billboards and still do print ads. Like you're buying an ad in a magazine. Like you're dumb. I haven't read a magazine since I was at the fucking car dealership or not dealership at the repair shop, and I skimmed it and it was a sports magazine. It's like, bro, it's about to be 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like stop acting like it's '03. Stop doing 100,000 cold outreach emails. Social media exists for a reason. If you don't think coaches are on this shit, go through my following list on Instagram and see what type of coaches are following me. They're on there, bro. They're on there. This is what I'm trying to tell every kid, bro. Every coach is on Instagram, and they're on at least something. I would say Instagram. I'm trying to think of another platform. They're on LinkedIn. Coaches are out there, and they're scrolling just like you, and they're scrolling just like me, and they're going to see it, and they're going to be, like, interested. And hopefully you make a good enough video of yourself playing that you catch their eye, and then hopefully when they click on your page, all your shit is ready so they can contact you. It's that simple. Like, this isn't... We got to stop acting like the internet don't exist and everybody in the world that has internet access ain't using this shit just like you are. I think that's the thing is like exposure, marketing. You know, why you think Bryce James got stars? I know somebody better than Bryce James right now. No stars. Everything I love, bro. Eh, fuck. What age should a kid start playing on a 10-foot rim? I don't think. I think a kid should start playing on a 10-foot rim. I think there's two tells. Either you're strong enough. I say eighth grade, um, seventh or eighth grade, or just when you're strong enough. Like you could be. When I was in sixth grade, I could shoot on a 10-foot, no problem. Like my shot wasn't low. I didn't have a bullshit jump shot at that age. So I was fine. Like I had the strength to do it. I was shooting that shit from deep. So that's me. So I think you got to take it case by case. But I think it's seeing, are they like shoving or throwing the ball, or is their shot point low? Like, can they have a good shot point and shoot it from deep, and high enough? So I think the starting mark should be 13, when you're able to. Like league wise, I don't think any league under the age of 13 should be shooting on 10. That's just my opinion. I don't even think they should have threes, but you can't just like erase a 3-point line, from gyms. It's not real. But on the score, I wouldn't even count threes in a 12U game. Everything would be worth twos. So then shooting threes would be worthless. That's just. But I'm a long term thinker. Everybody's so in the moment of like, it's part of the game. It's this, that. And they should be playing with a 29 at 6 years old and on 10-foot baskets. I'm like, yeah, and they're going to be shooting that shit off their shoulder, and the shot's going to be fucked up. So I'm always a long-term thinker. I'm always a developmental thinker. I'm always a process thinker. That's my approach to everything, and that's how everything I talk about, that's the point of view that I have when I put out information is long-term development. And so at 13 years old, or if they have the strength before that, sure. That's just my opinion. Um, I said something about the order of development, your brain, body, and skills. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you. Um, the order of development, it always goes mind first, body second, skills third. I'm gonna tell you why. And I say this often, and I'm gonna keep saying it. If your mind is not right, if you have a bad attitude, or you're mentally soft and you can't handle, um, a challenge, there's another word, adversity. If you can't handle adversity, or you can't handle a low moment or a failure or whatever it is, a micro failure, you're gonna be ass at basketball no matter how much you practice. The most talented people I know, like I had a kid that used to come to my training, one of the most talented kids I ever coached, but their mind was not in the place it needed to be, and now they don't play basketball anymore. But could do everything, could shoot, could defend, could run, super coordinated, super quick, could finish, selfless, could pass, like easily D1 prospect skill type, but mentally in sixth grade, so it just don't work. So if your mind's not right, if you're not mentally tough, if you're not up for the challenge, if you're not competitive, it don't matter if you're 6'9" and can jump out of the gym. It literally don't matter. I promise you, it don't matter. You're gonna be ass. So that's that's the first point. The reason the body is second is because if your knee is always hurt, or you always got some shoulder problem, or you're out of shape and you're fat, or you're uncoordinated, or you can't catch, or you're not quick, what's it matter if you have skills? Does it matter? No. I don't care if you can shoot the lights out. If you can't get separation from me on defense, you won't even get the shot off. So it doesn't matter that you can make 100 threes in a row if you're not quick enough to move your body around to get a shot off, or you're tired in the first minute of the game. You can't even play the whole game. If you're uncoordinated, like, congrats, you can touch the rim, but you're uncoordinated. You can't run up and down and change directions. Like, and so it's just logical, you know what I'm saying? Like, if your body has to be on point for you to perform. And so this is the thing that a lot of young players don't do is they don't take their body seriously. The minute I think I was okay, my freshman year of high school, I had a weight training class, and me and my friend, we would just like kind of mess around. Like we weren't serious. We were like half lifting, like half, like we was on bullshit. After that freshman season, I took every workout serious when it came to my body. Oh, like I'm upstairs doing dot drills. I'm running the treadmill on incline. I'm fucking lifting. I'm doing P90X with my coach. I'm doing all types of shit, like everything you could think of. I'm running, and I never looked back. And the same kid that I was messing around with, they didn't make the team after their sophomore year. It was actually, matter of fact, were they on JV with me? They might have been on JV with me, so that's kind of a lie. But they did not. They never played varsity, and they never played college sports. And mind you, he was one of the best athletes at our school by far. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the difference of like seriousness when it comes to your body. Of like, you know, and I think they were misguided, to be honest. Like they could have been a hell of an athlete. I think they were misguided, um, to be real. But that moment on, I got serious about my body, and then that allowed me to compete with older players. You know, when we have open gym and I got to play against a senior, I could compete because I could run faster. I got quicker. I'm stronger. I'm not pushed around. You know what I'm saying? Like I can grab boards. I can play defense. Like, you know, that shit helped me. And so it uh it made my skills more obvious. That's what it does. That's what taking care of your body does. It makes the skill set you have more obvious. It's like, damn, this dude's really good at handling the ball. But now you can actually tell because not only can he handle it, he's beating people off the dribble every time because he's quicker. Or he's bullying people in the paint because he's stronger. You know, and then he adds the footwork on top of that strength. So I think that's what it is. And then skills third. Like if you don't have skills, you're just it don't matter if you can it don't matter if you can run fast or jump high if you can't dribble or shoot or pass or play defense. You know, it really don't. You're just worthless. Like y'all saw John Jones trying to dunk. He looked like the most unathletic person you've ever seen in your life, you know, but best fighter of all time. It's crazy. So if you don't have skills, it don't matter. It don't matter, bro. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Uh, said you started using it, you switching to your old. No, it's good to hear. You started using the finger like the thing in that book. That's good. That's good to see, bro. Um, and you're switching. The reason when you play a game and you're switching to your old form, you're just not used to it yet. You just got to stick with the process, bro. It's really a process. There is that in between time when you're changing your form. There's the in between time of like, is this shit working or not? My shit feels busted. Cause like this is what happens when you change your form, right? You change it, there's a tiny drop off, and then there's like progress. You're like, oh shit, this shit is working. And then you get to this point to where it's like you hit straight rock bottom, like my shot is off. I'm never gonna be able to shoot again. What the fuck did I do to my shot? Why did I do this? And then it's like this slow upward movement for the rest of the time. So you're probably on that way up, you know. So just stick with the process. Don't worry about it. It'll click at some point, you know. Just make sure you don't shoot that many shots with your old form. So like there'll be some times where it starts to come back like in the game, you can't help it. But when you're practicing, just stick with the process, stick with the plan. It's gonna work. It'll work itself out. Just follow it. Just keep following it. Promise. Um Giannis is shooting 46 from mid range. It's the first 10 games of the season. We'll see what his percentage is in game 59. You made varsity. Thanks for the help. How did I help you, bro? I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. That's good to hear, man. That's super good to hear. If you're restarting your jump shot and your body's not right, do I just do form shots? No, like what I mean by having your body right is just the ability to compete on a high level. You know what I'm saying? You can still practice, like anybody can practice, but if your body's not right, eventually you're going to break down or you can't practice that long or all these different things. So it's just, is your body good enough to compete for a full season without breaking down or without being tired and all this other shit? Like that's really what I mean. I don't mean you have to literally like cut everything else out until you get this one thing right. It's just knowing when to prioritize what. So if my priority is my jump shot, that's going to be more than out of every activity, lifting, stretching, dribbling, all this other shit, more than, 60% of the time I'm going to be working on my shooting. And then the other 40% of the time or whatever time I got left, that's where, the dribbling and taking care of my body and all of those stuff's going to come in. So the priority, whatever the priority is for you that you need, that needs to be up front and you can't let anything interfere with that. And then whatever leftover time you got to spread that amongst the rest of the shit. So my priority right now is my jump shot and my body. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be in the gym working on my handles for an hour and a half. It's not a priority. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it comes down to, is what is your priority? Put that first, and then you got to rank them. That's what I always say, is rank the things that you need to work on and go in that order every day. To make sure you're getting better at those things first and then work on all the other shit in the background. So you got cut because you didn't go to the summer camp. There might be a deeper reason why you got cut, bro. And I don't know the whole situation, but I don't think anybody's cutting somebody because you didn't go to a camp. That does not make any sense to me, because you have an entire off season. So my question is, what were you doing between August and now, when they had off season stuff? You know what I'm saying? I don't see the reason of cutting someone that didn't go to like a 4 day summer camp. It just does not make any sense. It does not click in my brain when there's so many other ways to be involved with the school. So I'm not gonna say that's not the reason you got cut, but I just don't believe that. I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. And if shit don't make sense to me, I start asking questions. Yeah, and I'm gonna go for like 15 more minutes. Let me see if I wrote some other shit down. And I kind of, I really went over a lot of what I wanted to go over. And I think my main message continues to be the same, man. And I think my goal for this next year, I really I gotta wash out these scammers, man. There's 6 point guards. Are they better than you objectively? I mean, I had good 3 trials, but in open gym I did pretty bad. Yeah, I think, and sometimes it is political like that. Especially if your position is competitive. But I think just, at this point it don't even matter why, because it's already done. So we're kind of wasting time talking about why and what could have happened and all this other shit. I think just moving forward, stuff like that. If you really want to make the team, you gotta, like, your parents should know there's this summer camp for 1 week. Why the fuck are you going to visit your grandparents when you have 50 other weeks to do that shit? You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of questions that I start asking, of like, did you fight to go to that camp? If you knew it was going to matter. I don't know how much it matters, but if it's like, this is the week that they decide, and if I get cut because I didn't go to this, like, that shit starts to become a question. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's hard to control because, like, it's your parents. Like, they really got say in everything that you do at a young age. And no disrespect to your parents or anybody else's parents. Some parents I have the utmost disrespect for. I can't stand their fucking face. But I think I really think it's fighting for your own life of like, I'm not going to see my grandparents because I'm going to this camp. I don't give a fuck if I gotta walk every day because I need to make the team. If I don't make the team, it's because I didn't go to this fucking camp. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the fight, and I'm happy I didn't have to fight that fight a lot. You know what I'm saying, with my mom. Um, because she just let me do anything when it came to basketball. When it came to life, like we had some arguments about real life of like what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. And I like it's a real argument. Like you're not gonna sit here and tell me how to fight my life, like do my life. Like this is when you turn 18, bro, you got 50 years and 60 years and 70 years to be you. So those teenage years in high school, bro, you gotta fight to be who you want to be, bro. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mom. You know, um, but I think those are the things you got to look at of like, how long did you know about this camp? Did you tell your parents about this camp? Why are we scheduled to go out of town during a time I got some shit to do? It's that's that age when you got to fight and stop rolling over to what your parents say, cuz everything they say ain't right. I wish it was. It would make life easier, but parents are just people, just like you and me. So their opinion ain't the standard. Their opinion ain't gold. And sometimes if you feel like you're in the right based on the information you got to stand up for it and um fight for the right to be who you are and live your life. And I know I went off to the side on that conversation, but that's the type of shit that matters. Like, I know a lot of stories out there. I talk to a lot of kids, and a lot of parents are fucked up. And my message to them is always, eventually you're gonna be living on your own. So keep that in mind when your parents tell you to do shit. Like, are you willing to argue? I'm willing to argue. Fuck that. That's me. But I think that's how I am. That's why I became who I am now. Of like, I'm willing to just do whatever. I don't care what people say when they see my page and they see me talking and I drop a F bomb or whatever. I don't care, because it's like, what are you gonna do? What do you want to do? You gonna stop my life? You gonna stop people from paying me? You gonna stop me from making money? Good luck. You have zero effect on my life, so shut the fuck up. And that's just my internal mindset. Of like, I don't care what people think. I can't fathom the thought of sitting there and having something you really want to do, and then your next thought is, damn, what are so and so gonna think? What are people gonna think? What are my friends gonna think? What is society gonna think? What are people on the internet gonna think? I don't give a fuck what people think, because I'm helping people. I'm being of service. I'm not out here scamming. I'm not out here stealing. I'm not out here trying to get over. Which all of those things I used to try to do when I was a young kid. Until I learned and grew up and gained a better sense of morality. But it's like, at this point in my life, dude, I'm not doing anything that's like harmful. I'm not I'm trying to be as righteous as possible. So it's like, if you're looking at me and you're judging me because I make videos on the internet in order to help some kid in Memphis make the team or get a college scholarship, like, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thought I would have with my parents if they were trying to stop me. It's like, I'm not out here trying to steal and gangbang and do all this other bullshit. I just want to play basketball and play college basketball and have fun and just live my life and be a good kid. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. So why are you trying to stop me from doing something productive? You want me doing nothing? Like, that's the mindset I have. When kids tell me shit and I want to cuss out their parents, it pisses me off. Uh, but I'm still reading the comments right here. Gotta do jump attack too. I appreciate you, my guy. pee. I am, matter of fact, tonight. Damn, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, tonight I'm working on. I got a list of videos that I want to add to the academy. I literally just haven't been able to like sit and do it. Um, you're new to the game and understanding it as it relates to film watching and understanding plays. How and where to start? Over the summer, you watched a lot of games, and didn't really know what was going on. I sort of predict what's gonna happen at the least track it. I think you gotta be taught. Like, mentors matter. This is something I always talk about. Is mentors matter, bro. If you're not taught how to do things, you cannot be expected to know how to do it. There's not anybody that's hyper successful in a field that did not have a mentor. It is not a real thing. I wish it was, but it's not, bro. You need help. You need coaches. You need teachers. You need guides. You need mentors. You need all that shit. They exist for a reason. There's a reason when you're born. It takes two people to create you because you need at least two people in your life guiding you. Just logically, why would it take two people to create one person if that one person that was created didn't need two people that were older? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's real, bro. The power of a mentor is real, So I'd say go get taught how to play ball in person by someone. That is your best bet. Stop trying to figure it out on your own. Stop trying to figure it out through the internet. Unless you're going to watch somebody who knows what they're talking about. Don't watch some rando. And I'm kind of some rando, to be honest with you. I kind of am. Like, but I think the thing is, I post professionals and people that have done it saying the same thing that I say because that's who I learned it from. So it's not just, my whole page isn't just me. That's the thing that bugs me when I see these other people posting all these things. I'm like, this dude never shows video proof of the skill he's telling you. Or if somebody, like, there's a shooting coach who does the same shit. I'm like looking at the shooting videos. I'm like, bro, no one does what you're teaching people. And if you go down the feed, there's not any proof. There's no proof of this person saying, do this thing, or this is how you should do something. And then it's just them showing you. There's no game footage of them. There's no game footage of someone else. There's no game footage of the top players in the world doing the thing that they're saying to do. But people eat that shit up. And it's like, y'all are getting scammed to the highest degree, and it's pissing me off. It's like, bro, only watch the people who you know for a fact are, like, know what they're talking about. And the way I've given myself credibility is I show you through film. Since my very first video on Instagram or on TikTok was film of Kyrie Irving, one of the best players in the world. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, and then when I say a philosophy, or I say an approach, or I say how someone should learn, I show you the clip of Kobe saying it. I show you the clip of Steph saying it. I show you the clip of MJ saying it. I show you the clip of whoever it is saying the same shit that I'm saying. So I'm not just like, I can't even I don't give myself credibility at all. I'm not like saying here, listen to me because I know what I'm talking about and I'm smart. I don't say that, bro. I show you the source. I'm a middleman of information and I give up all my sources. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give up all my sources. And so that's the thing of, like, I'm not making shit up, and these other people are making shit up and people are buying it. And it's like, it is driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy because then y'all are the ones that lose because of it. Because you're like, I listened to this guy and he told me to do this with my shot. Now my shot's fucked. And all this, like, bro, y'all gotta learn how to see. And the way you see, the way you can tell is, like, this is what I would do, bro. And I'm so glad that I didn't grow up in this generation because it would have been hard for me too. And so I'm telling y'all, this is what I would do. I would only listen to professionals. There's 1,000 videos of NBA. Everything I learned, like, if you can go on NBA's YouTube channel and look up videos from 15 years ago. If it's 15 years old or 14 years old or 13 years old, I can 100% guarantee you those are the videos I was watching as a kid. I was watching Reggie Miller talk about shooting. I was watching Ray Allen show up to the Celtics gym. I was watching that video of Gilbert Arenas going to the gym at 4 a.m. and asking his trainer to rebound for him. I was watching that video of Kobe, training with some rando in a white tee, showing him triple threat. Like, I was watching those. I was watching the Michael Jordan fundamentals video, or the signature move video with Manu Ginobili, or the Sam Cassell step back. Like, that's the shit I was watching, bro. I wasn't watching some random dude saying this is what I do, but I was scared to shoot in high school. But if you do this, if you don't get the fuck on. So go to the source, bro. You followed my 4 simple shooting elements, worked out multiple times a day, got a lot of live reps, watched TikTok videos, you feel so, got in shape too. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you're the guy that made the team. Okay. You're a sophomore in varsity. So you followed my advice of workout multiple times a day, got a lot of live reps and played pickup. Um, you watched my videos and did the film studies and you got in shape. And you're a sophomore in varsity, bro. That's good to hear, bro. That really is good to hear because I think it's so simple. It's like it's hard to do consistently day in and day out, especially if like you're not used to it or you don't love it. But if you love it and you just like, and you're like, damn, this is all I got to do. All I got to do is play every day and get in shape and work on the basics and skills, and that's it. That's all I got to do. And then watch some film and like study the game. Damn, that's it. Like that's it. That's all there is, bro. It's like, man, I'm happy for you, but I'm happy because it's like, I think, and I gotta go harder on the videos, bro, because I need to get the message out of like how simple this shit is. Because I really do want to wash out the scammers. Like I be talking about it kind of as a joke, but in reality, like watch next year, watch, bro. I'm not even gonna talk. You'll just see. It's over for them. Um, Maybe teaching stuff they can do, and sometimes I'm not mad at that. It's Bill Belichick can't do shit that he teaches. But I think I'm proud to say that I can do everything that I teach still right now. Um, so you really think the world in basketball is such a simple way? It's crazy because you think you have to search extra hours for answers, but it's really just simple. It is, and I always think like I seen this quote is if it's not simple, it's not true. That's like once I heard that, I think I heard it like this year, but I've always tried to break things down in the simplest way because I think everybody should be able to understand it. And if everybody can't understand it, then there's has to be in some way it can't be true. The truest things in the world are the most simplest things in the world. And I try to just live by simple shit cuz like why am I what I'm not going to complicate my life for all this bullshit. Like none of this matters. Like I talked to my students, the other day we're at the gym on Tuesday, like playing and training and all this stuff, and I'm telling them like, I gave them some tasks to do, like some mental task, and one of them was make 100 layups in a row, like stand there, 100 layups in a row, right? And then they're like missing right hand layups and shit, and I'm like, bro, you can't tense up, when you start 45, 46, and you're getting close to 100, you can't tense up because like who gives a fuck if you miss that layup? Like it's not the end of the world, bro. You're not in war times. You're not getting auctioned off in slavery. It's basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care that bad. And I have a passion for the game and I really do care. And these are things that I thought about when I was 18. I have to always reiterate this of like I didn't discover perspective because now I'm old and washed and I don't play. It's like no, bro, when I was 18, I was thinking like how grateful I was to play basketball because everybody couldn't play and like people just can't play. Some people are dying to play and they go out and they watch you play. And like, damn, they can't even walk, let alone play a sport. And so it's like, why are you complaining? Why are you crying? Why are you not giving effort? You know, when you should be grateful to even be born a fully capable being. You could have been born with one leg or like your arms messed up or you got a brain defect or you got a disease where you got like bad health problems or you got cancer or some shit. So you're even luckier. It's more than just being born. You're born and you're also your body is fully functioning. You know what I'm saying? Like think about how crazy that is. Like people born, your day one, your body's not functioning right, and so for the rest of your life, your body can't function, and you got to be in a wheelchair. You got some weird, I don't even know, like disease, and you're all stuck in a wheelchair, and you can't move your arm, and you're paralyzed from the neck down. Like bro, that could be you, but you out here playing sports and having fun and living a dream, fully healthy body, and you want to fucking cry and complain and be scared about bullshit. Like fuck, man, telling you. But I do try to simplify a lot of things, bro. I think this life can be very simple. The execution of it is hard, and the risk, and sometimes there's a waiting period. Like for me, I'm in a waiting period. I know exactly what I'm doing right now, and like in my life, of like I know exactly what I'm building and trying to do, but there's just time. Like shit takes time. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know for a fact you want to be a professional player, and you're 17, but it's like time, bro. You still gotta take that time. You know, and that's the hard part of can you stick with it long enough and do the simple thing long enough for the time to do what it needs to do, so then it can start to happen. You know, that's the thing that messes people up, is like through the time that all these things happen, and you know they're emotionally traumatized, and you know they get scared because the people around them are scared, and it makes them scared, and then it makes them do certain things out of fear, and then it's like it fucks your whole life up. You know what I'm saying? So the time in between now and when you're, you know, when the reality of your goal is present, um you have to be very careful with it. You can't just let anybody in that time frame fuck your life up. You know, you got to keep it simple. You got to have, like, that's what it is, and the reason it's simple is so you can remember. And so you got to have those mantras of like, okay, this shit ain't life and death. Who cares? You know, I'm just saying that over and over. Like, who gives a fuck? Saying life and death is basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's a simple phrase. And so you could have those simple phrases um, within your life to keep you on the straight and narrow. And you know what's crazy? I got on my board right there. Something I'm actually doing is I'm writing my own book, mainly for myself, so I can remember all of it. Because I take in so much information, and I watch like 1,000 interviews, and I read all these books, and I do all these things. It's like sometimes even I forget the simple things, and it's like, damn, how can I remember these? And I think I just have to write it myself, so I have it. Of like, I need to have, you know, different things when it comes to health, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to career, when it comes to all these different sectors of your life. Of like, you gotta have info, and you gotta have basic knowledge to live by and remember. Like, you gotta study it. You gotta study your life. Of like, and if it's important, you'll commit it to memory. That's the thing. Of like, the reason I operate in such a way is because I repeated so many different things so many times. Of like, because it was so important for me to know it, I committed it to memory. So the same way you study in school is like, you get that A. Like, I'm trying to get an A when it comes to real life. Like, fuck that paper grade in history. I don't care about that. Like, I want to get an A when it comes to life by memorizing things that matter, and having the right perspective and approach to the things that I do. And I think the only way you can do that is like actually study it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I read literally the same books over and over and over. There's books I have on audio that I've listened to probably like 30 times. You know, and it's because that book is so important to me, um, that I commit it to my memory. You know, that I'm never forgetting this. And I think that's just what you got to do. Same thing with basketball. That's what I do with basketball. You know, I committed to memory. Like, if my teammates open ahead of me on the fast break, pass it ahead. Have active hands on defense. Like, communicate on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, jump to the ball. Like, the basics that coaches say over and over. I committed that shit to memory. And that's really what it takes. You know. Did I see Giannis performance? Nah, I didn't. Nah, I didn't. I didn't see it. Um, I heard about it. I saw him a couple threes. Uh, gonna work on your body. Good. Okay. Yeah. 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 Good. 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 I'm about to be done. I'm about to be off in like 5 minutes. What time? Yeah, 9:15. How long have I been on? Damn, almost. I did say 90 minutes. Ranting. Um, you had to visit your parents because she was sick. Okay, that's different. That's different. So I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can live with that. You know, as long as it's broken down to like what is the reason, because everybody has a reason. So if you had to visit your grandparents because they were sick, like, that's reasonable. That's family shit. And I think this is okay. So this is the other side of that, right? If that's the scenario, is that something that you communicated to the coach of like, yo, my grandma's sick. I really want to go to this camp. I know this camp is important. My grandma's sick. I gotta go. I can't make the camp. Like, is there a chance for me to still make the team? And I think if the coach isn't willing to hear you out and they're still making the decisions based on you having to miss a camp due to a family emergency, I think that's kind of fucked up, especially in a high school setting when there's 1,000 other things that go on between that camp and tryouts. But I think just as long as you're as clear as possible and you're trying your best to like make things happen, I think it'll all work out in the end. So um, I think sometimes you got to do what you got to do. There's times I had to miss a middle school football game because I had to go to my grandpa's funeral. I wanted to play, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I got this funeral. I can't play. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, good luck. I hope y'all get the dub without me. I was the quarterback. I was like, hope y'all get the dub without me, but I got to go to Chicago. I'm out. So I understand, man. I get it. You got to do what you got to do. It's life. Um, is it bad that I secretly don't like my older teammates because they think they're better? I mean, what are they supposed to think? You know, that's what they're supposed to think, bro. So I don't think you don't have to hate them for it. I think it's just an understanding. You can have like a competitive fire towards like wanting to beat them, but like hating them over them thinking they're better, like I don't know. That's not. Imagine hating Kobe because Kobe thinks he's better than you, because he's been in the league 14 years and you're a rookie. Like you see what I'm saying? Like I know that's like an extreme example, but it's like, what are they supposed to think? That's how you're supposed to think. You're supposed to think you're better than people too. So I think it's not wrong. You just can't take it personally. It's not personal. They're gonna think that about anybody. You know what I'm saying? I think you just gotta people my entire life always thought they were better than me. Like people taught me, like I always had both sides. People thought I was good, and then I also had people who thought I was trash. And there's people who thought I was like, damn, you're cold and you should be playing. You should get all the minutes and all this other shit. And there's people like, you suck. That's why you barely played. And blah, 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 blah. But it's like at the end of the day, bro, we step on the court and you know, the results matter. So the people that talk shit about me, let's step on the court and let's see what happens. That was always my thought process of it. It's like they would literally talk shit, and I'm like, I'm almost positive I scored on you every possession last time we played open gym. I'm almost positive I beat you in 1-on-1. I'm almost positive I'm a better shooter than you because we shot that one day and I beat you in all the competitions. I'm almost, so you know what I'm saying. So I go to the result, and so if that's how they think and they think they're better than you, show them that they're not. I think that's the best thing you could do is just show people. It's all about action. It's all about results. It's all about prove it every day, all the time, anytime, anywhere, no ducking. Prove it. And if they beat you, they beat you. You can't be mad if you lose and they talk shit. Get better. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost sometimes and people talk shit. I was like, yeah, you got me. Good shit, man. You got me. What can I say? I was pissed, obviously. But it's like I can't be mad because when I beat people, I'll talk shit sometimes too. I'm like, you suck. Told you. You're not scoring. You didn't score. So it's part of the game, dude. It's part of the game for real. It's one of the good parts of the game. I love that part of the game of like the shit talk, and the bragging rights and all those things. Like I just love that competitive side of it, and I think that's just part of it. If you lose, you lose, and they earn the right to talk shit. If you win, you earn the right to talk shit. But I think just don't take it personal. Keep it on the court, and learn how to move on. And just prove it when you can. But yeah, I'm about to get off. I think my last words. I'm turning off the chat so I won't be able to see it. By the way, yeah, I'm gonna close this. Yeah, so chat's done. Appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all being on here, man. For the people who get to watch this after the fact, appreciate you tuning in. And, I think the last thing I want to say is just like, this is just the beginning for me. It's like, I know I've been doing this. I was the first person posting basketball videos on TikTok. and really breaking down the film that way. I wasn't the first person breaking down film on the internet, but I think, you know, it's been a while. You know, I started in 2019, and I think I'm just starting. Like, I don't even think I've begun to do anything, you know, and I always got to give the credit to the people that follow me and the people that take my advice and my students and the people that ask me questions and the people that say I'm the great and the people that say I suck. Like, I think all that stuff combined is what makes me and makes this, you know, what it is. I can't say me because like I'm lucky, dude. I'm really just I grew up right time. You know, I studied every NBA video that existed when YouTube first came out. So I didn't get my mind warped by, you know, random trainers who are scared to shoot in high school and all this other stuff. You know, so I think I just got lucky. And so I'm able to pass this info on, and, you know, and I'm just a product of all the things I've heard and the books I've read and the people I've played against and the coaches I've had and the students I get to teach and all you guys who, you know, tune in and like my stuff and subscribe to my newsletter and subscribe to my page and all these other things. So, um, you know, usually I would talk shit and say how I'm gonna destroy everybody and all y'all suck. And I can't wait to push all these scammers out the way. But, you know, I think it's better if I just say how appreciative I am of everybody that, you know, is involved in what I do. And so, you know, this is just the beginning. Um, Look forward to a lot of great things. I really do want to fix basketball. I think the culture's fucked up. I think the approach of everything that has to do with youth basketball is kind of fucked up. There's a lot of good coaches out there. A lot of them don't make videos. A lot of them are coaching in random places. They don't have much power. You know, so and my job is to fix it, or that's the problem I want to go after as of now until, you know, until I find something better to do, I guess, with my life. Um, you know, so, you know, I appreciate everybody being here at the beginning. Like, this is the beginning, and I'm appreciative of the people that are here with me, and they know the truth, and they know what's about to happen. Um, and for all the scammers out there, you know, consider everything I've done up to this moment pretty much a warning shot.